Welcome back to another episode. I, as always, am your host, Justin Lesko, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt and former pro MMA fighter. Do you still feel like you suck at Jiu-Jitsu? Or do you feel like you were getting good and now you've stalled out? Or more troublingly, you're going backwards and getting worse at Jiu-Jitsu? Well, don't worry. Don't jump. Get off the ledge. You're not alone. Everyone goes through this, and training plateaus happen to everyone. And I'm here to help you understand why you feel like you stall out, how to avoid a plateau, and how to get past one. And remember, even if you feel like you're not good at Jiu-Jitsu, you can always look like you're good at Jiu-Jitsu by visiting epicrollbjj.com and using the coupon code podcast15 to take 15% off of rash guards, gis, shorts, hoodies, hats, joggers, and more. Don't spend a ton of money on Jiu-Jitsu apparel that isn't even made for Jiu-Jitsu. If you're wearing something that goes under and is supposed to be a sort of armor, you should know that that's not designed for grappling. And if you're getting something super cheap from, I don't know, a place that has walls and is a mart of a kind, that's not gonna last and is also not made for Jiu-Jitsu. Epic Roll gear is made by grapplers for grapplers, and it won't break the bank. Plus, you get 15% off your already affordable Jiu-Jitsu gear when you use the coupon code podcast15 at epicrollbjj.com. Give Epic Roll a follow on Instagram at epicrollbjj and make sure you tag them in your new gear. epicrollbjj.com, coupon code podcast15. Now, let's bust some plateaus. So first of all, Jiu-Jitsu is not karate. You're gonna have to earn your promotion, and in a traditional martial art or a really shitty Jiu-Jitsu school, they might sense that you're going through a little bit of a plateau and getting frustrated and stalling out. So maybe they would just promote you to avoid you quitting and making sure that you keep paying them if they give you a promotion. Real schools, real Jiu-Jitsu, it's not gonna work that way. Unfortunately, when we're talking about training plateaus, that might contribute to how you feel. You might feel like it's been a long time since you were promoted, while simultaneously feeling like you are a long way away from being promoted again. It's really easy to look back at a time when you made a big leap in progress, you had all those beginner gains, and you ran through white belt pretty quickly, you got promoted to blue belt, and it seemed like you were just getting better and better every single time you trained. But unfortunately, that eventually slows. Progress becomes incremental and it can be frustrating. It's important to remember that Jiu-Jitsu progress is not linear. You might not just feel like your progress paused, you might even feel like you're going backwards. I think this image really sums it up. But before you start getting too upset and feeling like you're getting worse at Jiu-Jitsu, just try to remember that this feeling is temporary and that it happens to everyone. You are still getting better even if you don't feel like it, and you will make big improvements again. One of the most common tropes you hear thrown around is, if you want to get better at Jiu-Jitsu, just show up to Jiu-Jitsu. That's true. I mean, you can't get better by not training, but just being there is not enough to get better. When you're on the mat, you need to be moving purposefully. Don't zone out during instruction. Don't goof off during drilling. Pay attention to the little details and try to apply them when you're drilling and working on technique. When it's time for sparring, take it seriously. Jiu-Jitsu is supposed to be fun, and no one wants to roll with the guy who's treating the practice room like it's the finals at World Championships. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is use your sparring time the right way. Don't just go through the motions lazily. Try to work on your techniques. Try to apply what you learned that day. Try to roll with purpose. Don't finish the match not sweaty and not out of breath. After the round, you should feel like you worked on something and that you worked hard. Don't just coast through it. Now, on the flip side, you shouldn't be trying to quote unquote win every round in the room. And I know that literally like 20 seconds ago, I said to take your training round seriously, but there's a difference between training and rolling seriously and trying to get as many taps as you can in a single round to feel like you won that round. If you're only focused on how many times you tap your partners, you're not going to be using new techniques. You're going to use the same techniques over and over that you know work, that you know you're good at. It's hard to get better at Jiu-Jitsu and learn new techniques if you don't ever try to use those new techniques. If you're only doing the same stuff every time you train, it's going to get boring. It's going to get monotonous. Don't be afraid to expand your horizons. And this idea of mixing it up, it doesn't just apply to technique, it applies to everything. Everyone has their favorite training partners and their favorite people to roll with. The problem with rolling with the same people over and over and over is that you learn their game and they learn yours. There's an aspect of muscle memory that comes into play, and it's easy to just roll with the same guys over and over, but you can kind of go on autopilot because you start to learn what techniques that they like and what they will try and what they will throw at you, and vice versa. They can do the same to you. Mix it up. Pick some different people to roll with, or hit up an open mat at a different school. Get some new looks, some new people. If you're a person who loves the gi, train no gi for a bit. If you hate the gi, well then pick up one from Epic Roll and head to gi class for a while. A change in scenery or a change in attire can shake things up a bit for you. And if your game has stalled, you're going to be forced to learn new things if you're only training one discipline and you go to the other discipline for a break. New is good. New breaks plateaus. New makes you better. The same thing can be said for intensity. If you're a hobbyist and you roll casually and you don't take yourself too seriously, but you find yourself getting bored or you're not progressing, try spending a week treating yourself like a pro competitor. Ratchet up the intensity and the lifestyle and the approach to the sport and look at it through a different lens. Even if, like I said, it's just for a week, it can be a nice change of pace. And you can do the opposite if you're a competitor, and if you feel like you're burning out and plateauing, take a week and just be a hobbyist. Just roll casually and do so for fun, and don't take training so seriously. Shake it up a bit. Just a quick break from the show. I want to give you guys some good news. Black Friday is obviously coming up, and like everyone else in the world, I have a very good deal for you. As you've heard me say many times before, there is a members only area for this channel where you can get bonus content like Q&A episodes, extra episodes, early access to episodes, betting guides for the major UFC fights. It's just a ton of stuff. If you join the member area between now and the end of November, I will send you a free t-shirt from the show or from Epic Roll, whichever you prefer, and maybe it'll be this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. Plus, I'll give you a shout out and tell everyone in the next episode after you sign up why you're a better person than they are. Right now you get access to tons of extra content for just $3 a month, plus a free shirt, plus a feeling of superiority, plus me telling everyone how much they suck compared to you. The link to the member area is below, so please check it out. Now back to the show. There are some things that can contribute to a plateau and contribute to you stalling out. If you have neglected your cardio, this may be contributing to your plateau. If you're tiring early, it's hard to spend time working on new things and getting better. Also, it's really not fun being so exhausted and out of breath you feel like you might die after each roll. So, get to running. You know that I like cardio, but get to running. Or ride a bike, or swim. Maybe do a triathlon. Because it's not fun if you're dying each roll, and if it's not fun, you're not going to train. Don't be out of shape and don't neglect your conditioning. Another thing that not enough people do, in my less than humble opinion, is take notes. You don't have to detail every second of every round you do, but if you're not taking notes, you're missing out. Note taking after class allows you to retain more of what you learn. If you write down what technique was taught and what you thought about the technique, or little details you think you might forget, it helps you to retain the information a lot better. Like I said, new techniques are a great way to get past the plateau and to get back to progressing, and the more you retain, the more you can apply. Similarly, note-taking can help you develop a plan, because if you're not going into training with a plan, you are also missing out. You should know what you want to work on and why each training session. You should know, my insert position here has been really bad recently, so I'm going to work on that. Or, I haven't hit a lot of blank submissions recently, let me work towards some of those. Having taken notes, you can spot these kinds of trends, and you can use these trends to help you plan what you want to improve each time you step on the mat. I think that I have saved my best advice for last. I think the best way to break out of a slump and get back to training to where you know you're getting better each time is to pick a tournament and sign up for it. Give yourself a goal to work towards and give yourself something to look forward to. Even if you hate competing, even if you're really bad at it, even if you think you're gonna lose, having a tournament on the horizon will make your jiu-jitsu a lot more fun, and it will make you look at training a lot differently than you're looking at it right now. It doesn't have to be a huge tournament like Worlds, and you don't have to travel across the world to get there. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. even just a local tournament. Sign up and put it on the calendar and then go after it. When there's something you're working towards like that, it won't flip a switch, and the first training session you do after registering, you won't feel like, oh yeah, I'm getting better again every single second I'm on the mat. But you will feel like you're progressing towards something, and that can be a great jump start to busting out of a plateau. But just remember, everyone experiences this. You don't suck at jiu-jitsu. I mean, you might suck at jiu-jitsu, but everyone sucks at jiu-jitsu in their own way. The feeling like you're not getting better, it will not last forever. And eventually you'll look back at this time where you feel like you stalled out and you'll realize how far you've gone since. Just keep at it. What strategies to beat a training plateau have you used that I didn't mention? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that thumbs up button, and why not subscribe to the channel while you're down there. If you want to take advantage of the Black Friday deal and grab some bonus content plus a free shirt, the link is somewhere down here. This is a blind pointing attempt, so maybe I did a good job. Probably not. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.